Torah Garden, speaking the absolute truth. Torah Nation.
Shalom, shalom, Yashar'el and Yahudah. Grafted in Gentiles into the body of Hamashiach, the quickened, resistant remnant. You who are born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. You who have been birthed into Yahuwah's purpose. You who are established in his kingdom. The word of Yahuwah has come to you today. Abba Yahuwah, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, I give you praise. I thank you for your Ruach HaKodesh, in which I have received because I've asked. I thank you for this blood atonement in Amunah. I thank you for being washed, sprinkled with clean water. Abba Yahuwah, I thank you, from my belly flows rivers of living water. Of this you spake, of the Ruach HaKodesh, which they should receive. But they had not received it because Yahushua had not been glorified, but Yahushua is now glorified. And I have received power as the apostles as well on the day of Pentecost. Abba Yahuwah, I am your servant, equipped to bring a Besorah, a Torah, to let them know who I am. Beloved, now am I a son of Yahuwah. Abba Yahuwah, I give you praise. I give you praise, I give you praise, I give you praise. Abba Yahuwah, I give you praise. Abba Yahuwah, I pray that the words that I speak from my lips, you would have dominion of. Take the reins of my lips, the reins of my tongue, and reign. Abba, may I now cause anyone to stumble, anyone to be turned out of the way, anyone to come up lame. Abba Yahuwah, I pray right now in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach that by the authority that you've given to me in the Eretz, that you honor in the Shamayim, I exercise that authority, that power, that exceeding great power, that dunamos, that exousia, and I bind principalities and powers and dominions and darknesses. I bind them over the children of Yashar'el. I bind them over the children of Yahudah. I bind them over those that you have chosen, those that you have made a part of the quick and resistant remnant. I bind the unclean spirits. I bind ruachs of divination and witchcraft. I bind spirits of distraction. I bind whoredom. I bind ruachs of perversion. I bind ruachs of uncleanness. I bind familiar ruachs over those that you have chosen. I bind spirits that have brought sickness and disease into their bodies, into the temples, that are trying to force their way in to devour them. I declare that you're bound. Take your hands off of Yahuwah's people in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Loose Yahuwah's people in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Set Yahushua's people free. Abba Yahuwah, I speak healing into their bodies. I speak healing in their minds, for you have not given them the ruach of fear, but a power of love and of a sound mind. Abba, your word declares that he himself bore our sicknesses and carried our disease. Yahushua HaMashiach, by his stripes we are healed. Abba Yahuwah, you said, is there any sick among you? Let them call for the elders of the assemblies. Let them pray over them and anoint them with oil, and the prayer of Amunah shall save the sick. Abba Yahuwah, I pray that all of those that are affected in their body would receive healing in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. I come against the poverty, the ruach, that spirit that is attached itself to them that brings poverty. I break that power. Abba, you said the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. The just are those who are born of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. The just are those that are a quickened, resistant remnant. The just are those who have received this witness and are walking in obedience to Torah. Therefore, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for them. Abba Yahuah, bring in financial relief to those that you have chosen. Give them what they need to escape the whore, to break free of this wicked Babylon. Abba Yahuah, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, I pray. Abba, I pray that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart would be acceptable in thy sight. Yahuah, my strength and my redeemer. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, we're listening to none other than Hezekiah. The song is entitled Repent. Jeremiah, the 4th chapter, the 7th verse. Listen, again, I don't know the rights to this music. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, listen. We had talked about yesterday what it means in us knowing who we are, right? You have to understand, identify what Torah in the Besorah says concerning you in Hamashiach Yahusha. You have to understand what the Torah, the Besorah, Yahushua HaMashiach, the Word made flesh, says concerning you, and you have to believe it in Amunah. You have to. You have to fight off the influences, the mind games that Hasatan is trying to play with you to get you to a place where you do not believe what Yahuah is saying about you. You need to know who you are, and if it means that you get in that Besorah, in that Torah, and you meditate on it, fast and pray, do everything that you need to do in order to be strengthened in this Torah, be strengthened in your Amunah. You need to understand, you need to know who you are. You need to understand whose you are. Beloved, now are we the sons and daughters of Yahuah. You need to know whose you are. You need to know who you belong to. You need to know that you have been translated from the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of Yahushua HaMashiach, Yahuah's dear son. You need to understand that you are not who you used to be. You have been redeemed. You have been cleansed. You have been washed. You have been sanctified. You have been justified. You need to know who you are. See, when you get an understanding of who you are and you recognize that you are holy, 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 not to be worshipped, but you're holy because he has made you holy. You are holy, holy, holy because you are Els. Yahushua said, doesn't the scripture say, are ye yet Els? You are Yahuwah's servants, sons and daughters of his with his Ruach in the Eretz. You are super. You are what he says you are. Listen, you have to understand this. You have to grab this and run with this in Amunah. Because there are things that Hasatan is going to throw in your way that's going to remind you of what you were, where you came from. Listen, his goal is to get you to allow that glow that you have now received in the witness of Yahuah and Yahushua, this Ruach, this glory that is in earthen vessels. He is trying to get that light to dim. He's trying to get you to a place where you don't stay supplied with the oil of the Ruach. He's trying to get you to fall back into a certain mindset. Listen, you got to understand that you got to transform this mind in order to establish within yourself an understanding of who you are. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, you need to know who you are. You need to know who you are. See, because Hasatan, once you're born again, now I'm not talking about those, I ain't talking about y'all who ain't born again. I'm not talking about y'all who are Torah only people. I ain't talking about y'all who just run around talking about E1, B1A. I'm not talking about y'all who just trying to walk around and run around and build knowledge, and get all this information, trying to pinpoint everything and understand where you are as if somehow that's going to recommend you to the kingdom. If that's somehow going to cause you to enter into the kingdom. Listen, that information went as the call. That was the design to call us to understanding that we were a people of Yahuah, but because of our disobedience, we became slaves. We became everything that Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 15th through the 68th verse says we were. And in the culmination of it, we were taken away out of our lands into ships, on ships to other nations and places. Listen, and then the colonization didn't even stop there. The colonization spread it unto the continent. And now in the continent of Africa, our people are waking up, but they're waking up to the understanding that they are a greater people than what they were led to believe, but that ain't enough. They need to understand what it means to be born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh that translates them from the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of their Son that literally fortifies them in the mission. Got to know who you are. The call is us understanding who we are. The call is us knowing that we are a peculiar people, but we are a people in covenant in the kingdom through faith in Hamashiach Yahushua. You got to know who you are. Yashar'el and Yahudah, you got to know who you are. And listen, you grafting Gentiles, you who Yahuah has brought in, you who Yahuah has granted access as sons and daughters being birthed into the kingdom, you got to understand what it means and the gratitude that you have to have and the love that you have to show to the children of Yahuah that are in this witness, that are quickened. Because listen, they are his people. They are his people. They are still his people. Listen, Yahuwah is raising up a nation. Understand, a born-again nation. And there are going to be people of all nationalities in this nation. But understand, he still has a people. The tribes are going to be represented in the kingdom. The 12 tribes are going to serve the 12 tribes that are quickened. The 12 tribes that are awake. The 12 tribes that are born again, that are resistant remnant. They are going to serve in the kingdom. Yahuwah's Torah is true. You got to know who you are. You got to know who you are. So I'm running around trying to find where we came from, where we went, trying to prove the validity of the scriptures. Listen. You got to get to a place where if you've never found a grave site, if you never found anything, your amunah and what Yahuwah's word says in the Torah is enough. It's enough. See, I understand in amunah that what Yahuwah and Yahushua, the Torah made flesh, has taught and given us is enough. Is enough because I understand that because I have his Ruach, at the time that I need to do anything, he's going to reveal it to me. He's going to make it known to me. I am going to be made alive in whatever I need to know by the Ruach of wisdom and revelation. He's going to bring the life, the manifestation to whatever I need. And see, listen, listen, you call it crazy, but I'm so into what Yahuwah word says to the point in which if Yahuwah says that, okay, it's time to go and I don't have a means, guess what? I'm going to get on my knees and I'm going to pray and I'm going to wake up and he's going to translate me. I'm going to get up and move and he's going to move me. Listen. I ain't going to scientifically try to figure this thing out. I don't care about science. I don't care about witchcraft. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about that. I care about what Torah says. Torah is the final authority. Torah is absolute truth. I am cleaving to what Torah says. Torah says I'm a son of Yahuah. I know who I am. And I know whose I am. I understand it. I understand it. YOCHANON says in that 3rd chapter of 1st YOCHANON, the first whole, beloved, what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us that we should be called the sons of Elohiym. This is YOCHANON, the Hebrew. No doubt talking to the Hebrew church, the Hebrew assemblies, but he's also speaking to the Gentiles that have received his witness. Listen, know who you are. Beloved, Yahudah has identified us who have received this witness as sons of Yahuah. Listen. At the time that Yahushua was walking around and preaching and teaching, right? He made a distinction between the Pharisees and their diabolical nature father, right? Hebrews, and those who have received this word or these works in Amunah. Right? There's a difference. There's a difference in just being Hebrew. There's the difference between understanding that you are descendants of Avraham. Right? And even in that, there was confusion amongst them dudes, because they weren't all full-blooded Hebrew. Some of these cats was appointed by Herod. They weren't. Herod was Esau, a descendant of Esau. Know who you are. Knows who you are. Right? Just because you Hebrew, just because you know who you are. Listen, right? I told you before, and I'll tell you again. I've done my DNA, right? Ancestry.com first. And all of these DNA places show you where, except some that really draws from DNA that they have taken from grave sites that they can determine the genetic haplotype of that individual at that spot, at that grave site. And some of these grave sites they've dug up. This grave sites represents 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 1,200 years, right? These grave sites that they found, right, where they've been able to take the DNA out of, right? But most of these modern DNA tests show you where your ancestry, right, or the bulk of the people that you most match to, where they're located, right? I did mine through Ancestry.com first. It says I'm over almost 50% Nigerian. It's almost 50% Nigerian, and it drops down to 17% and all the way down. Nigerian, right? So I takes my Ancestry.com, right? Because all it's telling me from where I am ancestrally at this time, matching with the people on the continent, right? Ancestry.com says it's Nigeria, right? So I take my ancestry from what I got Ancestry.com, my sample, and put it in my true Ancestry.com. Oh, wow. That takes me all the way, that takes me to Spain and Portugal, right? Now, right, when I first got it, I got this pop 3 places in Spain and Portugal, right? Now they've disappeared. Right, they disappeared, right? Because, you got to understand who runs and controls these things, right? But they reflect, right, where my ancestry was. at that time. Anyhow, it drew references from bone, DNA, grave sites that they determined where our people was, right? And mine was right down there in Lisbon and all, right? Right? I was like, wow, B'nai called it, right? Wow, B'nai Israel, right? And I found out that after that, most of my ancestry, in terms of place geographically, was the east coast of Africa. Yeah, Kenya, Tanzania, down south, same coast, Zulu Nation, then over Bantu, and this is like different times, and then up to the Gabon area up there, right? But I did that, and then I went into African ancestry. African ancestry tells me that the bulk of my ancestry, 99% match accuracy, is in Gabon. The fang. There's a bar. I want to get it right, cause this is what it says. Right. It says the bulk of my ancestry is in Gabon, right? Gabon, right? And the people are the I think it's Fang people. If I'm not correct, because I'm just I'm just saying it now, right? But these are all different places, right? Nigeria, right? African DNA, Gabon, West Coast, Nigeria, West Coast, right? But my true ancestry, Spain and Portugal, Kenya, Tanzania, the southeast coast of Africa. This is information. But this ain't getting me in the kingdom. I know that there is a tie, a connection between me and a people. But that connection alone doesn't lead to righteousness. That connection attaches us to a people who have been trodden underfoot. We've been trodden underfoot in every continent. We've been trodden underfoot in our own continent. Belgium trod us underfoot. Britain trod us underfoot. France trod us underfoot. Spain and Portugal trod us underfoot. Arabs, right, trod us underfoot. Right? Right? There's more. Europe, Germany, trod us underfoot. Only one didn't was Russia. Yeah. Right? Only one didn't is China. Got some carpenters. You got some carpenters that are building the continent, right? But that alone does not make you his. Yahuwah's shifting things because by order of prophecy, he has to shift things. But the objective is to gather, bring under one place, one nation, under one place, his people. Take the two sticks and make them one, Yashar'el and Yahudah. And gather in others of the other nations that will serve him. Know who you are. I'm Hebrew. I'm Hebrew. According to scriptures, we were taken. We were taken. Right? According to Ancestry.com, most of my people are in Nigeria. That's the area of Yahudah. Negro. Listen. You know, it's interesting because I said this before, but my daughter has some African friends in Ohio, right? And my daughter told me, oh, yeah, my dad did his African ancestry. You know, my dad, you know, has found out who he is. They said, oh, we don't need that. He said, we can tell you where your father's from. And she was like, well, whatever. She said, my dad already knows who. He said, show us a picture. So he showed him a picture. She showed him a picture of me. They said, oh, no, he's Nigerian. Telling you, he's from Nigeria. Ancestry.com says, my people are in Gabon. No. African Ancestry says, my people in Gabon. Ancestry.com says the people that I am most 100% identified with as much as 50%, right? Right? Nigeria. And my true ancestry puts me in Kenya. Puts me in Tanzania. Puts me in South Africa. Zululand. Listen. We are people. We scattered. Right? On the continent, we don't all know who we are. You got pockets of people on the continent understanding, you know, faith in Yahushua HaMashiach. And again, the name Yahusha, right, is Hebrew in English, right? Yahuah is Hebrew in English. Of course, it's going to sound and pronounce different because that's the nature of dialect. But make no mistake about it. His name is Yahusha. In Swahili, in any other language, his name is going to be Yahusha. It's going to sound, it's going to present different just because it's where it is, right? But at the end of the day, you understand whose you are, and there are those that are on the continent who have faith in Yahuwah, has faith in Yahusha, and are his people. They know who they are. Right? But you know what? It's time for us to not only know who we are. Beloved, what manner of love Abba hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of Yahuah, sons and daughters of Yahuah. Therefore, the world know us not. We gotta leave Babylon, and the destination is the continent. But everybody on the continent aren't sons of Yahuah, by virtue of just them being on the continent. Because we're from the continent, right? We share DNA similarities, not with everybody, but with the descendants of Shem. Because you have descendants of Ham. You have descendants of Cush. You have Egyptians, true Egyptians. I ain't talking about what they got. I'm talking true Egyptians. You got Ethiopians. But then you got Ethiopians, right? Because Ethiopia was a territory. There were people in Ethiopia. We so know who you are. Because in order for Yahuah to use you, you have to know who you are. It's not just enough to be born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. You have to amunah this thing, knowing who you are, so that you can be everything that Yahuah needs you to be. Because it's time to show them who you are. It's time to show them. It's time for you to demonstrate. Right? Now understand, right? He says, beloved, now we the sons of Yahuah. Now, know who you are. Know now that you are a daughter of Yahuah. Know now that you are a son of Yahuah. Know now that you need to get ready. Know now that you need to be born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. Know now that you have to have his Ruach HaKodesh on the inside of you to be his. Know now. Right? Know now. Know where you are, whose you are. Beloved, now are we sons of Yahuah. Listen, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. Listen, we don't have a picture, a memory, an experience of what we will be. All we have is an amunah. All we have is a Torah of truth that we believe, and that Torah of truth that we believe is going to be enough to cause us to be like him. We don't know what that looks like. You should listen. Love. Now we the sons of Yahuah, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. I don't understand what this is going to really look like. So, it's an amunah. And the only way you are going to be convinced in this is by amunah. You have to give yourself to hearing the Besorah and the Torah. Because that's going to facilitate your amunah, because it comes by hearing the word of Yahuah. And because you hear the word of Yahuah and you have amunah in the word of Yahuah, you will be able to endure to the end, to the point and the place and time when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Amunah. Know who you are. Know who you are. If you know who you are, then it's time. It's high time for you to show them who you are. Show who? Principalities and powers. Show who? Dominions and darknesses. Show who? Your brethren. Your sisters. Show who? The heathen. It's time for you to show them who you are. Finally, my brethren, be strong in Yahuah and in the power and the strength of his might. Show them who you are. Demonstrate your competency in the use of the armor. Demonstrate your competency in the use of the armor. Demonstrate your ability to wield a sword of the Ruach, which is the word of Yahuah. Instead of entertaining everything that Hasatan says, put Hasatan to flight. Resist him. Resist him. Show them who you are. Show them who you are. You know, we are a people. Yashar'el and Yahudah. As the nation. We are a loving and kind people. We are. You know, we are forgiving people. Right? But we can be a nasty, aggressive, violent people. Show them who you are. Who is this demonstration directed to? Who are we showing who we are? Who is our battle primarily with? Because we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Right? Now, it doesn't mean that there will come a day when you're going to have to use carnal weapons. Because Yahushua's going to. Yahushua's going to lay waste. The blood is going to be up to his bridle. We are Yahudah. Aqov gave specific instructions to us to teach our children the weapons of war and how to use the bow. Listen, right? Do you know how many of us that are on the continent of Africa Yahudah that don't know who they are? Do you know those that are on the continent that know their Yahudah? Right? Listen, right? So I put my name in this new one because I have this new genetic one. This one is the new one. Is the latest one that I got from Bnei Israel, which to a large degree, I think they need our sample size in some way to justify themselves and or to bring recognition indirectly to who we are or identify us, not so much as to qualify us, right? Even though as it's presented, it's this qualifying thing, how can you trust Ashkenaz that's not born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh? How can you trust his motives to be genuine? How can you trust at the end in him his motives are genuine? Anyway, this new one, right? This new one is the new one is it's because I don't even remember on all. The one that stands out most to me is my true ancestry. Right? It is. Oh, ancient DNA origins. This is another website that I just pulled my ancestry.com in there and put it in there and it sped it out. And then you select from the different tribes and it pulls up a percentage, right? A percentage of you as it relates to the areas that they have released. Because Ashkenaz, they done did DNA tests on everything over in that area. And these ancient areas, these are ancient DNAs, right? And they already know who's what, right? And this particular individual has demonstrated that they don't possess Shemitic DNA, right? But he has established his own website right now, right? He's got this website that he has now, and he's going to pull from these released samples, right? That the Ashkenaz has given, right? And they want us to put our information in, right? So they can show what tribes we're from. Because they don't belong to any of the tribes. Ashkenaz don't belong to any of the tribes because they're not Shemitic. Yeah, okay, well, you like it or not, it's a fact. But anyway, they wanted us to put our DNA in there. So, I put mine in there. Put them in a couple of spots, right? I put it in the African spot, right? Because, there's like 3 different places. There's like you can do it for your Egyptian results. You can do it for a bunch of different results, right? But my results were, I was 75% Zulu. 75% Zulu. Right. Now, there's a reason why, 75% Zulu, right? As it says. And we still are on the theme of knowing who you are. Right? It's nothing's changed, right? Knowing who you are, right? 100% Zulu, right? Right? My result. South Africa, right? It says your genetic similarities to individual members in this culture is shown below. My genetic similarities to African Zulus. Right? There is a 74% genetic similarity to the THABOs, which are Zulus, or I guess tribes, or offshoots that are Zulu, and 73 in the BHEKIs. Right? So I'm thinking, who are these TABO genetics people, right? Genetic story. One of the stories that are attached to this is that from this individual that says, I am a fighter. Right? And I'm thinking, wow, okay. All my life, I've always looked to be a protector, a guardian. Right? It says, listen, I am a fighter, and it is my responsibility to defend my tribe against the cannibal tribes that live nearby. This is a member. This is the THABOs. 74% Zulu, right? I have been at war with them for as long as I can remember, and it seems that there are no end in sight. No end in sight. I spend most of my days trying to prepare for battle. Right? Zulu. Right? I am skilled with a spear and a shield, and I have learned to use my surroundings to my advantage. Listen, y'all, if that ain't me. Zulu! Right? Zulu. That's the continent of Africa. Right? Then the other tribe, which is 73, I am a farmer who specializes in growing sorghum, and I'm not even sure what that is, which is a type of grass that is widely cultivated for its grain. Hunter-gatherers. It's an important crop to the people of South Africa. Right? And it is used to make a number of different dishes. But the idea is, I'm 74%. Right? I have an understanding of what it says I am. Right? It does not give me any credible information, which it's supposed to, in reference to the tribes. Because that's what he really wants. He wants us to put our information in so we understand what tribe we're from. None of that. Where they getting their samples from? Ask enough. Listen, know who you are. Then know that you need to show them who you are. See, and if you're looking to this method to reveal to you who you are, it's not going to get you to the kingdom. It's not going to get you to the kingdom. African ancestry has me 100% Gabon. The Gabon tribe. the people of Gabon, this present day. And they make that specific. This present day, you make up, your DNA make up the people in Gabon. You know. Ancestry.com. Your 50, they don't even mention, well, they mentioned that area, but it's only like 12, 13, 14, I think 12, 13%, but they don't specify Gabon. Right? They say Nigeria. Over 50% Nigeria. You know, that's genetic. There's going to be genetic mixing amongst the tribes. But it still should be, and it is, because my true ancestry is 8. My DNA is E1B1A. My true ancestry, my DNA is E1B1A. My largest group is the group that's in Kenya. It matters that my name is written in the Lamb's book. My name is written because I have received the witness. I know who I am. Now in this witness, I have to show them who I am. You have to show them who you are. You have to show them who you are. You have to show them who you are. Listen. Beloved, now we the sons of Yahuah, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And every man that haveth this hope, every man that has amunah, that has this understanding, that has this locked in his heart, purifies himself. He keeps the oil in the lamp. He builds his stuff on his most holy amunah. She builds herself on her most holy amunah. She develops herself. She does all, and having done all, she continues to stand. He continues to stand. Show them who you are. Yahuwah said, I will sanctify my great name in you, and they will see, they will know that you belong to me, because you are going to show them that you're mine. How did the apostles make evident that they were of Yahuwah and Yahusha? The words that they spoke, the authority that they spoke with, the power that was demonstrated through them, the signs that followed them, showed them who they were. Now, we understand that the showing of who we are is first and foremost to principalities and powers, the rulers, keys to the kingdom. Keys to the Shamayim. And exercising authority in the Shamayim and on the Arets. You show Hasatan who you are. When he attacks, you exert authority and dominion over him and or his demons and devils in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach by demonstration. He has to obey and honor the Torah that you speak out of your mouth, as Yahushua HaMashiach spoke the Torah out of his mouth and demonstrated to Hasatan who he was. You have to demonstrate who you are. You have to demonstrate to the world. Signs follow. See, because the world is not going to identify with your love. You are going to identify with your brothers by demonstration of love, but the world ain't going to conceive, understand, or grab hold of, or gravitate to you because of love. Like that. They're going to know that there's something different in you, right? But what moves them is by the power that you flow in this witness. They're going to believe that you're with Yahuah because signs follow. See, you know. Having signs follow is a part of knowing who you are. Yes, the demonstration of love is everything, right? But if you love somebody, you move in authority. You set them free. You have the power to cast out a devil that's going to make them free. You do that. If you have the power to lay hands on somebody so that they can be healed, you do that. That's a demonstration of love. Casting out a devil is a demonstration of love. Laying hands on the sick is evidence of love. Getting Maxine, Claudine, and Aberdeen and being born again of the water of the Ruach HaKodesh and not falling dead when everybody thought that, this should have been a death sentence. Shake off serpents. These signs are necessary in following us. Let them know who you are. Here, the Kodashim, you the Kodashim, right? Right? You the Kodashim, born again in the water and the Ruach HaKodesh, and you can't pray for nobody. You can't lay hands on nobody. You can't believe in Amunah for nobody. Heck, you can't hardly believe for Amunah in your own self and the things that you need. You need somebody to pray for you. What? Listen, this is not arrogant. This is not being arrogant. This is truth. This is Torah. Right? I pray all the time. I pray in the Ruach and I pray with understanding. You got people, they got issues with praying in other tongues. I could care less. It's not going to stop me from doing what the Most High has put in me to do. Right? Because I'm going to do it. Whether you agree with it or not, it don't change anything with me. Right? I'm going to do what the Most High do. I'm going to pray with my understanding. Right? I'm going to pray as I'm led by the Ruach HaKodesh. I'm going to pray for I'm not praying for the world. I'm praying for those of you who has chosen from amongst the world. I'm praying for those of you who has chosen from amongst the called. I'm praying that they get delivered. I'm praying that they get healed. I'm praying that their finances turn around. I'm praying for the things that are necessary that cause them to be able to flee Babylon. I am exercising my dominion that is honored by Yahuah in the Shamayim. I don't care if you understand it or not. Right? I'm fighting on behalf of my people. The cannibals, the wolf only wants the sheep in his teeth. Is that Eshan Burgundy? That's Eshan Burgundy. The wolf wants only to have the sheep in his teeth. I'm a guardian. My purpose is to serve Yahuah in Torah. But make no mistake about it, right? I'm a weapon of war. I could fight in the spirit, and I could fight in the natural. Our fathers fought in the natural. As they lived in obedience, they succeeded in the natural. Because Yahuah put the supernatural on them. One would put 1,000 to flight, two would put 10,000 to flight. Our ancestors put running, right? Because they were holy. Because they were Kodesh. Because they were Kodesh, they had their enemies running. Another thing that I heard, and this is not any attempt to bash any, artists or anything like that. That's not what I'm doing, right? But understand this. The children of Yashar'el had to use weapons all the time when they were confronted in battle, right? They had to fight. The men that were fighting men had to fight. Now, if Yahuah told them to go up and take the land, in obedience, they go up and take the land, they had to fight. Yahuah may disrupt the whole group of everybody before they got down there, but they still had to kill folk. They still had to slaughter folk. They still had to... Listen, in order to go over and possess the land, we had to do things. What make you think Yahuah gonna change? He ain't changed. Now we have power to deal with the spiritual forces. Right? But you still got Satan. You still got demons and devils that don't care about a temple. That they're using, that somebody else is occupying, that's coming after you. They don't care. You better understand this. You better know who you are so that you can show them who they are. Understand. If necessary, I'm hand to hand. If necessary, I'm locked and loaded. If necessary, Kadar, go lay down. Now, if necessary, I could do whatever Yahuah wants me to do. I mean, like Caleb, look, I'm 70. I'm still able to go in and slay some giants. Because I don't go in the power and the strength of my might. Yeah, physically. I don't move like I did when I was 21, 22. Shoot, I'm 60. I don't move like I was when I was 49. But listen, if the Ruach Kodesh comes upon me in might, then guess what? I will show them who I am. It first begins with you knowing who you are exercising the authority that you have in this witness, being born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh, wrestling not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, exercising your spiritual dominion and authority over them, putting them on the run. Resisting Hasatan, resisting is a resistance. It's a press. It's a fight. It's an endurance. You pressing your way against Hasatan by the Torah and the Besorah and demons and devils, and they have to flee. They have to. Show them who you are. Show them. Show them. Show them. I tell you right off the rip, I love the Most High. I love his people. I am a non-violent individual. But let somebody come up in my house. I'm going to show them who they are. I'm going to show them who I am. If they pass under that rod, guess what? They gonna catch two to the chest and one to the head. I am going to show them who they are. If they come in my house to do violence, listen. The violent take it by force. See, you know. This is the comfort that I have. That Yahudah has Malachim. Because I know who I am. My Malachim are stationed with me and around me. I know that I'm protected. But understand this, right? The nation had to fight. On the continent, right? Right, on the continent, you have Mali. Let me see something real quick. Because I want to get this right. On the continent. You have Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and Guinea back in Niger against France and United Snakes. These Western European powers, because Niger's like, we done with France. Right? Our resources are our resources. They belong to us. Right? We choose to let it go to you, or we choose not to. And if you're going to come in with a military presence, guess what? We are going to be united. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea. Right? 3 countries. Right? See, now listen. Understand something, right? It's prophecy. It's prophetic. Right? They've been stealing, they've been robbing Yahuwah's lands forever. Because the continent is yours. Actually, the whole world is yours. But the continent, France and United Snakes, Britain, and Germany, Belgium, they have all been robbing the continent of its resources. Right? Now, they've awakened the sleeping giant. See, because, you know, the United Snakes, you know, they vulnerable. Right? They got to come over. Yeah, they got a base. They got a base in Africa. They got a base in Niger. So is France. France got expelled. United States got a base in Niger. There ain't nothing they can do if Niger overruns them. United States ain't gonna risk that. Listen, they done wasted all they had in armamentry and weaponry over in Ukraine. European Union, they ain't got weapons like that. See, and you know, you talking about countries that have allegiances, or BRICS allegiances, right? With China, with Russia. Do you really want to bite off more than you can chew? Oh, they ain't gonna send aid to them no more. You know, the president of Burma, the president of Burkina Faso told, listen, keep your aid. You have poor people living in the streets in California. They need your aid. We don't need your aid. Charity begins at home. They are beginning to know who they are. There has to be a quickening. They understand what the colonizers has done. They understand the colonizer mindset. These are young leaders. Young leaders that are showing strength. And all they got to do is sound the alarm, and they're going to have young other leaders, young men, that's going to come and join the cause. Not to mention, what is it, is it Wagner? The contractors that assisted Russia, that are in Africa, that are training soldiers. Shift. See, we were born again of the Ruach of Yahuah, the water, blood, and Ruach HaKodesh. We understand, first and foremost, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they're mighty through Elohiym, Ruach, his Torah and his Besorah, to the pulling down of strongholds. See, United Snakes of America, right, is Babylon. And Babylon is going to fall. But where are you going to be? See, this is strong talk, right? I know who I am. I let Hasatan know. Demons and devils know who I am. Does that stop them from coming? No, they keep coming. They keep coming. It's okay though, because you know, I'm strong. And I'm going to do all that I can to stand. I'm going to stand. See, you got to understand. on the continents, there's signs that the call is going forth. Right? You have people like Ron Dalton, Hebrews the Negroes, right? Hebrews the Negroes. Just showing the people who and what they are and the lands that they're in, migrations and all of these things that bring them to an understanding of who they are as the people. And he's met with opposition on the continent. Right? Right? But it's time for us, Yahudah. It's time for us, Yashar'el. It's time for us, grafted in Gentiles, to show who we are. And you know, and listen, you may not even want to go to Africa. You better get out. You better get out of the United States of America. Eventually, everybody that's going to enter into his kingdom going to have to come by way of Africa. It doesn't matter where you are culturally. It doesn't matter if you're of Belgian descent or English descent or Ireland. It doesn't matter where you're from. Excuse me. There's going to come a time when the kingdom of Yahuah is going to demand righteous presence. And you can be righteous in that land. When Yahuah establishes his kingdom, right? And everybody has to come and worship and obey. You still have these lands. Again, America is going to be destroyed because America is Babylon. She's the daughter. She's the harlot. Right? She's led all the nations astray. She's got to fall. She's going to go down. These other nations are going to witness her demise. Yeah, Russia going to witness it. Yeah, Spain and Portugal are going to witness it. Germany. All of them. Syria. They're going to all witness it. Morocco, all of them going to witness it. But Babylon ain't the place. You're going to have to show them who you are. And see, I got the guardian in me. I got the all in me. I have the all in me. I have it in me genetically. Right? Now listen. Right? It said, right? I am a fighter. Right? This is this ancient DNA origin. This is the Zulu 94% right now. And the numbers change, they go up as more people come in. Right? That's what's the natural. There's more DNA that surfaces. Right. I'm a fighter. Yahudah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou hast gone up. He crouched like a young lion, as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up? Your hands will be on the neck of your enemies. Yahudah, teach your children the bow and the weapons of war, to be a defender of the nation. I am a fighter, and it is my responsibility to defend my tribe against the cannibals tribes that are nearby. I have been at war. Yahudah is a weapon of war. See, I understand that, this prophetic word, right? This prophetic word. This prophetic word, was it Jubilees or Yasher? Oh yeah, Yasher. Yasher, the 56th chapter. And Yaakov, at the 6th verse. And Yaakov said, call all your children unto me. And all the children of Yaakov's son came and sat before him. And Yaakov blessed them, and he said unto them, Yahuah Elohiym of your fathers shall grant you 1,000 times as much and bless you, and may he give you the blessings of your father Abraham. And all the children of Yaakov's son went forth on that day after he had blessed them. And on the next day, Yaakov again called his sons, and they all assembled and came to him and sat before him, right? And Yaakov on that day blessed his sons before his death. Each man did he bless according to his blessing. Behold, it is written in the Cepher, in the Torah of Yahuah, pertaining to Yashar'el, right? Right? And Yaakov said unto Yahudah, right? I know, my son, that thou art a mighty man for your brethren. I know that you're a mighty man for your brethren. Reign over them. Reign over them. Right? And your sons shall reign over their sons forever. Only teach. Right? Now, listen. There is no need for me to go over to the continent and try to assume a leadership or a reigning over anybody. That is not this. But as a nation of people, right, Yahudah, he says here, teach your sons the bow and all the weapons of war, in order that they may fight the battles of their brothers who rule over their enemies. Mali, Burkina Faso, New Guinea are aligning themselves with Niger. It's nigger. It's derogatory. teach your children. Show them who you are. That's what that woman said, and that's what Wakanda Forever. Then when the girl became the Panther, and she was killing that dude, she was whooping that dude on the beach, and, he had her, and she was, I think that's when she said, show him who you are, right? I know she said that to the Black Panther. Show them who you are. They done poked a lion. It's a young lion. Young lion. And Jacob said unto Yahudah, I know, my son, that thou art a mighty man for your brethren. Reign over them, and your sons shall reign over their sons. Right? Only teach your son the bow and all the weapons of war, in order that they may fight the battles of their brothers who will rule over their enemies. And Jacob again commanded his sons on that day, behold, I shall this day gather unto my people. Now, right, in Yasher, because, in Genesis, I think Genesis 49, it's specific about certain things in reference to the instructions that were given to the sons. But if you notice in Yasher alludes to the blessings, right? But he points out specifically Yahudah. Why is this in Yasher? Because you will need to show them who you are. Because they're in the called phase on the continent. See, we've been called in the United Snakes of America, right? And the word has gone forth, and the being born again, all of that is ringing on the continent. I mean, in the United Snakes. And eventually, Yahuwah is going to wrap it up here. And he's going to give, he's going to provide us what we need to flee Babylon. Because we need to go home and fulfill prophecy. Because the weapons of our warfare, listen, when I get on the continent, it's about the bestowed and the Torah. It's about the same thing that I'm doing here that I do there. Right? There I may even be more able to just get out and go and do. Right? Look. Right? But at the end of the day, we fight them because the United Snakes of America, when Babylon goes down, that's going to be a wrap. But you still got France. You still got Belgium. You still going to have Mag and Magog. These countries are going to want to go to war with us on the continent. They want to fight us over resources. Know who you are. I'm telling you. My DNA is 74% Zulu. I am a fighter. And it is my responsibility to defend my tribe. I'm telling you, this is what this says. Against the cannibal tribes that are nearby, that live nearby. We have been at war with them for as long as I can remember, and it seems that there is no end in sight. I spend most of my days training and preparing for battle. See, I'm wrestling against flesh and blood every day. Right? And you know what? To be perfectly honest with you, I also need to give as much time and attention at preparing myself with these weapons of war. Yeah, because see, I can train somebody because I have the skills to handle weapons of war. It's been a few years in the military, but it's been a few years, but listen, at the end of the day, I ain't trying to fight nobody in the United States of America. I ain't trying to fight to defend the United States of America. I'm not. I'm not trying to take up arms to fight for a nation that has not fought for me. It fought for me. Show them who you are. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, it begins first that you recognizing who you are. A son and a daughter that have received the power of the Ruach HaKodesh sealed, given a particular set of skills, keys to the kingdom, authority to operate, exercise dominion in the Eretz, having it be honored in the Shamayim, fighting against principalities and powers, and dominions and darknesses, and rulers, evil rulers and wickednesses of this age. You've been translated from the kingdom of darkness to the kingdom of his dear son. You have his power on the inside of you. You have authority, right? Signs follow you. You have an arsenal at your disposal. You can resist Hasatan. He has to beat feet. Demons and devils have to beat feet. They have to obey you. You have to understand this and believe this in Amunah. And then you have to understand that, right? This weaponry, especially if you're Yahudah. Right? If you ain't Yahudah, then this don't necessarily apply to you. But if you are of the nation of Yahudah, and most of us here that are on the continent of the United States of America were taken from Yahudah. So we are of Yahudah. We have to understand it becomes necessary for us to be prepared to use the bow, right? Because, you know, we ain't fighting with bow and arrows now, right? Not like that. You know, we ain't fighting with spears. Not like that. No. This ain't that kind of warfare. But there will be close contacts. There will be a need to, you know, quite possibly take up arms. You'll be Yahudah, right? Scared? Ain't scared? Scared or not? Scared. No, sir. Know who you are. Understand who you are. Man of Yah, woman of Yah. That's it for today. Most High is giving me what I've given you. Know who you are. How about Yahuah in the name of Yahushua Mashiach? I pray that they not only know who they are, but that they show the world, show principalities and powers, show the kingdom and the dominion of Hasatan who they are. Show them that they cannot be overrun, that they could not be put in bondage, that they cannot be destroyed or killed, not unless you have given them command or charge. But they have authority. They have authority to operate in your behalf, bringing power and authority through the dominion that comes through this witness being born again of the power and the Ruach HaKodesh. Yahuah, I pray. I pray that no one stumbles, no one is turned out of the way. Yahuah, I pray that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart would be acceptable in thy sight, and that your word would in fact would go forth and not return void. Yahuah, I give you praise. Again, let the words of my mouth, meditation of my heart, be acceptable in thy sight. Yahuah, my strength and my redeemer. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, called to greatness. Woman of Yahuah, beautifully and wonderfully made. Today, Yahuah has favored you. Show them who you are. With that, I say, shalom, 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 and listen, be blessed.
Torah Garden, speaking the absolute truth. Torah Nation.